Hello everyone, my name is Alberto, welcome back to my channel. So this is another quick video, but I think this should be useful. I thought about doing a video on taking care of your garments and specifically washing instruction and drying instructions, because a lot of people, me included, don't usually look at the labels of the clothing we buy. In my case, I definitely don't most of the times, unless it's quite expensive. Then I try to take better care of it, obviously, but it's also based on the fact that since this is my job, I do know a little bit about fibers and textiles, so automatically I know how in general a cotton t-shirt is treated, or a shirt or denim, blah blah blah. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the little label that it's inside clothes. So when you take a t-shirt, I cannot show you this because it's something I'm working on, but on the left side you have a little tag like so, and on this little tag you have a series of symbols and writing. The writing is mostly the origin of the garment, sometimes the origin of the fabric as well if it's different, and it's also the composition of the different bits of fabric that are on the garment. And this is helpful because it does tell you what the garment's made of. So if you have a specific fiber that you're looking for, or you want or you don't want, then you can tell from there if it's something you're interested in or not. And based on the fiber already, you can have some sort of guidance of what to do or not to do to treat it and take care of it. On top of the writing, usually sometimes on different labels, most fast fashion brands or cheaper fashion brands now, I saw put like 15 labels one over the other with all the different languages of the world, which sure, but somewhere in there's also a series of symbols. Now the symbols give you very specific instructions on how to take care of your clothes. So the first symbol you'll see is supposed to be a washing bowl, which is this. And you have a few different variations. The bowl obviously means it can be washed, usually washed in a washing machine. If it has a line underneath or more lines, the more lines usually mean it's better to use a delicate wash. If it has a hand in, it means it's for hand wash only. If it's crossed out completely, it means not to wash it. This is quite a rare one. It's usually for garments that have quite intricate and delicate embroidery or embellishments on that would be easily ruined, or for some very specific garments like a corset, for example, which has non-removable boning, especially if it's a steel or metal boning, because obviously that could break, bend, rust, etc, etc, etc. But again, that's quite rare. The most common you'll see is the bowl, like so, with a number inside or some dots. Both the number and the dots mean the same thing, which is temperature. Now, the numbers, in this case, these ones are Celsius, are the degrees in which you can wash the garment. And the number means the maximum. It's not the recommended, because sometimes it feels like that's the recommended temperature. It's not, it's the maximum one. And the same goes with the dots. However, with the dots, it's based on the number, so the higher the dots, the higher the temperature. So numbers and dots in the bowl are to show how many degrees you can wash your garment at. The triangle shape, which is this, is for bleach. So obviously if you have the clean triangle, you can bleach your garment, although now it's not so popular to bleach stuff just to wash it and clean it, but still that can be done. If it's crossed out, obviously it says not to bleach it. The square with The circle inside is a dryer. So if you have a square with the circle, it means you can put your garment in the dryer. And if then inside that there are again some dots, that again means temperature, as with the washing machine. So the higher the dots, the higher the temperature. So if you have 1 dot, you're supposed to use a low temperature, 2 dots medium, 3 high temperature. If the whole dryer symbol is crossed out like so, it means not to put in the dryer. This is for items that can be damaged in the dryer, either because of the temperature or most of the times it's because of the friction. Now, how to get around stuff like this at your own risk is most new washing machines and dryers have a series of settings that are supposed to emulate hand washing and incredibly delicate drying. So for example, if you have an appliance with the Woolmark Care logo, then you can be pretty safe with it, because usually, especially a dryer, when it has a wool program, it spins so fast that the items don't move at all. So there's no friction and you avoid felting in the wool. But again, this can be used for things that are not supposed to go in the dryer, because most of the times the reason why they're not supposed to go in the dryer is because the friction ruins them. So this could work. Otherwise, if you have an ultra delicate setting. Sometimes I have washed stuff and put it in the dryer when I wasn't supposed to, and it was fine. But again, you do that at your own risk, because obviously if they tell you not to do it, there must be a reason for it. There are a couple odd ones, like the one that means to dry only in the shade, but honestly they're so rare, I don't see even the point. A couple useful ones are the ones for dry cleaning, which usually is a simple circle. If there's an empty circle like this, it means you can dry clean it. If it has a W inside, it means you have to dry clean it with water. And if it has a P or an F, there are 2 types of solvents used in dry cleaning. But again, in that case, obviously your dry cleaner is going to look at it and use the proper care. The last one, which is still quite important, is the iron symbol. So if you have a simple iron, it means you can iron at every temperature. It should be fine, obviously within reason. If the iron is crossed out, it means not to iron at all. This is mostly again for delicate fabrics or embellishments or bits like embroidery that can be a bit delicate. If the iron has the dots, again, that means temperature. So the 1 dot is a low temperature, medium and high, exactly like before. And there's also iron without using steam. Again, I've never seen this one. I'm assuming it's gonna be for some things like maybe velvet or silk, just because silk can be stained with water. But again, very rare, so I don't know how useful that could be. However, to conclude, a generic idea is try to take the best care you can of your clothes, because they're gonna last longer and they're gonna be as nice as possible. The general idea is whatever you're washing, unless it's something very, very strong like denim, just don't ever go to super high temperatures in the washing machines, because it just ruins everything. It makes everything last a lot less. Same with the dryer. I tend to dry everything with the delicate setting, because even though I have a fairly recent dryer, I did have some mishaps, and especially when you're washing and drying something from some cheaper fabric, fast fashion stuff, etc., it tends to be lower quality, which means it's gonna shrink so much. So if you want to minimize that, go with lower temperature in everything and you should be fine. If you're very, very scared that something is gonna get ruined in the wash for whatever reason, because it has an embroidery, because it's something that has a hand dyed, I don't know, hand wash. Always hand wash and let it dry. It's gonna take forever, but at least you're gonna be fine. So hopefully this was useful for you. Please leave a like if you liked the video, it's a great help for me, and subscribe if you aren't. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's your process into washing and taking care of your clothing in the comments. I'm genuinely interested, and let me know if you want to see something specific from me. I'll try to cater to your interests. So thank you and have a great day. Bye.